I'm going to create a dating app logo using Looka, an AI branding tool. I want to see how much freedom and flexibility there is when creating a logo and evaluate the quality of a logo that can be created using this tool. There's a huge difference between a logo that's just meh and a logo that really stands out in the sea of logos. Creating a strong logo is understanding the company and the brand. For this, I am using an imaginary dating app where users swipe on a bio, chat a little bit, and then the photos are revealed. Is this the digital version of Love is Blind? Perhaps. But this app is focused on human connection, but does want to maintain the playfulness of dating. This translates to a brand that is fun and sophisticated. Based on this company profile, I need this logo to capture the spirit of the brand, sum up the premise of the company, convey an appropriate tone, and leave a memorable imprint in people's minds. And with that, let's jump right on in. Okay, so we are now in Looka. I'm going to enter the industry, just called dating. Now we're going to pick logos that we like. For this, I really want something that's going to be simple, utilize more of geometric shapes and that playfulness that can come with that. And I also want something a little bit more modern and simple for this logo. So I'm going to try and select things that are as close to that, although I'm not seeing anything that really speaks modern logo to me, to be honest. And so I'm just going to click things that I think are closest that hopefully will get me ideally where I want to go, right? Trying to keep things as modern with the usefulness of the shapes or nice fonts to see if it will give me anything that might be able to work. So from there, we're going to go ahead and continue. And so for this part, I know I want it to be very elegant and sophisticated, right? Because the app is leaning more into that human connection. And then I also really want to convey that this is a fun and playful way. Even though it is focused on human connection, we want to maintain that level of playfulness and lightness that comes with dating, hopefully. So we're going to go with orange, and you can kind of see those things that I'm looking for in these colors, with like the joy, enthusiasm, happiness, elegance, reliability, maturity, right? So let's go ahead and go to the next step. I think I'm just going to call this heart to heart, right? Something simple. And then for symbols, I'm going to go really broad, even though I said I wanted to avoid heart. I think it's okay to kind of go in here and see if they create something interesting or more playful with hearts. Hopefully it's not just like a plain heart. Love, hearts, maybe flowers and roses. You can go with something more abstract. And I think in terms of like a dating app, those are probably the best symbols to get started. I kind of like this one, but I do feel like it's very close to Hinge, so we're going to skip that. I don't feel like this has like the maturity that I'm looking for. You know, it has the heart, but I just still feel like this is a very generic way to do a heart. So we're going to load more. So I'm actually going to kind of speed through this, and I'll come back when I've browsed and made some selections that we can talk about. So a lot of these logos are text with a symbol or just text. There's not a lot of symbols that utilize, not a lot of logos that just utilize symbols, which I think that's what a lot of great logos do have. So I'm not like too thrilled about that, and I do feel you're going to end up with like a very generic logo since you don't have that flexibility. So I'm actually going to change the name to just H2H. Hopefully it kind of has a better way of blending the images with the text, or maybe the text might come out a little bit different. So really it's the same thing. Now it's leaning more towards text. Still not a lot of creativity with the symbolism and how that plays in with the text or not. So not 100% thrilled, and I think, you know, I've seen probably the best that it has to offer. So we're going to pop into the favorites and see what's in here. To be honest, I think this one, just the simple text and this interesting font is the best way. So maybe let's go in and edit. So it does give you more customization options, which is is nice. So I'll just go ahead and scroll through and see if any of these variations kind of speak to me. Still leaning towards this one. So let's go ahead and just maybe play around with some of these different things and see if something sparks. Okay, so then you can see all the different configurations that you might have. Let's get a preview. I think this is okay. I don't think this is great. You know, there were improvements that maybe could be made, some additional freedom, you know, with like isolating the letters, controlling more of the configuration would have been helpful. But I do think like if this was used, I do think it's kind of cute. So I'm not going to like totally hate on it. I do think it's usable and it is interesting, and I do think it looks really good once you start going onto these branding materials. It has a little bit of spunk. To take a step back and look at this logo and kind of the editing, I think this is probably a good choice. I think if you're really looking to elevate your brand, this may not be the first place to go, but I think if you're just trying to start out, maybe you don't have a lot of logo or graphic design skills, I do think this is a valid option, and there are enough things here that you can play around and create a more unique logo. You can go ahead and dabble with that layout, dabble with the palette. I thought the letter isolation was interesting, although I wish there was like more control. And if you really wanted to go in and add symbols, you could as well. You know, give it a little bit more spice with a container if you felt like your logo needed that. But I think, yeah, this is definitely doable. It's usable. Let me know what you think about this logo. Do you think I should have done something different? Did one of the other options speak to you? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, and see you next time.